Anyway, Goon Squad, everybody! Last night, highlighted by the fact that by one vote, chat elected to keep Brady Wasselin for a long time. 6 years at $13.4 million. We could have gotten 4 first-round picks for him, but chat said no. Again, I think it was a justifiable conversation one way or another. I'm starting to wonder if the right choice was made, only because it shows him as a second line forward. I do wonder what his actual overall is, because it could be boosted by morale, or in this reality, a 92 overall somehow is only that good to be a second liner. I have no idea. It still just shows him as a 92 no matter what. So we'll deal with that. Actually, you know what? Really quickly, for the morale. Morale stresses me out in this game, rightfully so. Do we have anybody that's a leader on this team? No. No, we don't. Nobody's a leader. Everyone's just hanging out down the street, doing the same old thing they did last week. Just to double check, I made us cap compliant. Yep, we're good to go. We missed the playoffs last year. We elected to not take that Brady Wasselin deal, and now here we are. This is a really risky approach, though, that we have to this season, in that we are not running the highest-rated coach, which is very typically a bad idea, but our coach is Brent Burns. I am trying to develop real-life retired players into actual coaches. It might not work, and that's okay, but it might work. We've won cups with lower-rated coaches before, but obviously, like, A-plus coaches typically help out a ton. But it is what it is. As chat's continuing to bring up other horrific WHL names. There's a lot of them. Let's see, though. What are the ratings for this year? Obviously, we have some lower overall dudes on the fourth line. That'll hurt our rating a little bit, as Wasselin is still showing up as our best player. 82, 91, 89. So yeah, the offense is a little bit worse than it normally would be. But again, we have some players to build around. We still have 3 golds and quite a few silvers in the lineup, including Jakub Turakov, who we took 2nd overall. So we're hanging in there. Let's find out if we're making it back to the playoffs. I don't know if I dare put a prediction up. Screw it. Let's put up a prediction. Let's do over under 42.5 wins. There you go. Let's see what happens. But yeah, like I said, fourth line. We have 63 overall, low elite Jesper Markstrom at 22. This is kind of our last-ditch effort to get this guy to develop. It's unlikely, but it is what it is. The 19-year-old Jaden Wright's 53 overall, medium top 6. Hopefully we'll see some development there. You should have just predicted playoffs. Probably, but yeah. And then Pavel Ponikarovsky, who we're also going to try to get to develop. So, fingers crossed for a good season here. Let's do it. Let's do it. I want to see us back in the playoffs, or I want to see us win a draft lottery for once. Either or would be fine, but I'm all about making some progress tonight. 6-2 win and a 7-1 loss. Yikes. Early look at the draft class. Why? Like, every year, the number 1 overall projected player is a power forward. Every year. Jesus. God damn it. And we're not getting, like, any of them either. It's brutal. We definitely have to keep an eye out on Winnipeg this year as well to see if they struggle. Obviously, their team might do a little bit differently if Wasselin was there, but still want to keep an eye on them. We are not exactly destroying worlds here, which doesn't surprise me because fuck you, that's what. Yeah, pretty much. We'll win the draft lottery in the first. Power forward will be a second rounder. Probably. Brent Burns, buddy, I am giving you an opportunity here that I might regret. It's a medium elite power forward at the top of the board. Jacques Caron. Yeah, who's going to be solid. He has Relentless, which isn't too bad. So, the Edmonton Elks changed their logo. I'd love if you could bring it up. Let's go. I know people are still pissed about them becoming the Elks in the first place, so let's go. Hey, we're starting to win some games. You know, if we're doing this well with Brent Burns as our coach, I think an A or an A-plus coach probably would have gotten us into the playoffs for sure. But if we can make it with Brent Burns, then hey, man, the memes write themselves, you know? And as I say that, we start losing a crap load of games. Holy snipers. Jesus. How many snipers do you need at the top of the draft? Jesus. All right, well, we're approaching February 1st of 2032. We have lost the vast majority of our games this month. We are just on the outside looking in on 52 points. Has Burns got better as a coach as the season's gone on? No, he is still a C-. You know what? I don't care. We're going to leave him. We're going to leave him. I'm willing to sacrifice a season for Brent Burns, damn it. It's just a lot more fun as it is, you know? Keep it going. I mean, we could make the playoffs. We could miss. I mean, this might go down to the wire. Let's see how it goes. Oh, my God. 9-5, 6-2. Oof. Okay, well, about making the playoffs, losing 4 games in a row isn't going to help, is it? What's our big issue here? Aside from a man coach. What's our big issue? Goaltending. Cooper Hubbard. Not exactly setting the world on fire compared to Christian Kirsch. Yikes. Offensively, Turikov still has the same rating. Our defensive pairs are struggling. Let's go with that. We'll put Sims with Park, Peterson with DeRocher, and Turikov with Hirsch. Offensively, 32 goals for Wasselin's pretty good. Second line's putting up points. That third line is getting brutalized. And the fourth line has also been atrocious, but that was to be expected. Silverthorne's a third liner, yes. Let's put Silverthorne on that third line. Try to mix things up a little bit here. Low franchise has an okay potential for our goalie. It's not bad. Got to Letourneau, though, up to an 88. Not bad. Again, I know he has silver quick draw, but Morin technically has better face-off abilities and has developed born leader and randomly skilled up. Like defense, leadership, Michigans? Don't quite understand player development in this game all the time, but all right. Let's see if that helps us. Again, we still are within striking distance of making the playoffs here. I might really end up regretting the Brent Burns decision, but there's really not anybody who's that much better at this stage. I'm going to have to check the open market. The A-rated guy that we cut might be out there still. Am I going to regret this season? Am I going to regret this? As we're getting some big-time trades, but outside of knowing that that's Juuso Valimaki, most familiar names probably aren't going to be around. 26, 32, and 5. Eight points behind Montreal. Is it worth moving on from Burns? Let's get rid of Petrozelic. We're going to make Phillips the head coach here. Just to see if we can save the season a little bit. Congrats to NHL goalie coach Brent Burns. Just out of pure desperation. But if we start winning games hand over fists, there's a great chance I cost us a playoff spot this year by running with Brent Burns as our coach. Yeah, 500 so far, under 500. Okay, looks like it wouldn't have mattered too much. Well, that's good at least. That's good to know. We're still losing games. Hand over fist. It's going to be another year outside of the playoffs for us, which is okay. I mean, obviously, to make it to the second round, then miss the playoffs the next 2 years, that isn't exactly ideal. But it's also not the end of the world, especially if we were to happen to win the lottery again this year. Or one of the lotteries. We got the second pick last year and had nobody that we could take. So, guess that one season was just a blip on the radar, unfortunately. But will we hit 30 wins? Oh my God, we might not even hit 30. Okay, 30, 40, 7, and 5. Another really disappointing year for us. We should have been better than that. Shout out to Top Hat, though, for the 40 months. Geez, welcome back.
Highly unnecessary.
Guy with the Patriots jacket, and of course he's been
dead last in our division, eh?
A good piece of pizza.
Okay. Well, how low in the standings did we finish then? Damn. I honestly thought we might still be able to make it. We were the third worst team in the league, only behind Pittsburgh and Utah. Damn. Okay. Thought this had the post like. Fair enough. Our goal scoring was mid-table. We had the worst goals against average in the league. Defense and goaltending just couldn't get it done. That sucks. I'll look at goalies first. Yeah, I mean, Hubbard played 57 games. He might be a low franchise and our highest rated goalie, but he was bad this year. I mean, Christian Kirsch did significantly better. I was hoping Hubbard would turn it around, but maybe I should have turned off auto-rotate and put Kirsch in for the majority of the season. And defensively, 41 points for Park. But obviously, as you would expect, the plus-minus rating for most of our players, abysmal. Damn. For the forwards, Lindstrom returns to form, lead the team in terms of points. It was the top line up there. Wassel and 48 goals. Morin, Letourneau, Silverthorne all did well. Chris Beach had 26 goals. Ponikarovsky, 18 goals as a rookie. Yeah, team defense and goaltending just let us down this year. That's what it comes down to. Damn. All right, let me see the updated logo for the Edmonton. Not what I was expecting. I don't know how I feel about that for a football uniform. It looks good on the jersey, though, and the helmet. I'll give them that. That's not bad. It's not the craziest thing I've ever seen in the world. That's not a bad look. Fair play. I don't instantly hate it. It's very different. It's very different, though. I'll give them that. Elk antlers for the Elks, oil rig for Ed. Exactly. Yeah. Holy hell, Frondell. 121 points for Anton Frondell. Yikes. Connor Bedard on 71 goals, 111 points. McDavid up there. Kaprizov, McKenna, Payarvi, and Demidov. Top goal scorer was Bedard. Donovan Betts, 68. Where the hell was he drafted? First overall in 2028. As a two-way. 68 goals for a two-way. You don't see that often. Payarvi, Brady Tkachuk, Tyson Gibbons. AJ, what's going on? Pasta, Frondell, and McDavid. AJ, I saw that on Discord. I wish you luck. I do. Sorry, you see, I was intrigued. I didn't want to lose my train of thought. I wanted to know how good Cale Makar was this year. Not bad, but certainly not even his best season. 1,200 points in less than 1,000 games as a defenseman. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Got to Olin Zellweger, who was up there, too. In goal, the winningest goaltender, Johnny Klubertons in Edmonton. Shutout leader was Thatcher Demko. Save percentage king was Klubertons, as save percentages continue to be less than ideal across the league. Rookie of the year is likely going to be last year's first overall pick that we didn't get, Nicholas Silfverberg, because he is a +8 as opposed to a -34. Out to Pavel Laine, and of course our own Pavel Ponikarovsky was up there. Scoring has not been turned down, no. New wins in a season record holder. There you go. Was it that much? 50 wins for Klubertons. Damn, 50 wins in 66 games. Pretty damn good, though. So no playoffs for us. Again, I'm admittedly disappointed. There might have been some self-sabotage in there. I just wanted to have fun with the video game and try to get Brent Burns to develop as a coach. Does that make me such a bad person? Probably. Probably. No AHL playoffs either. I still don't believe the AHL team has made the playoffs. So, as always, it'll be the progress reports and the draft lottery that we look forward to here. So, see what we got. Stanley Cup in 2032 goes to the Philadelphia Flyers. Coachella Valley wins their first Calder Cup. Philly back on top of the mountain for the first time in 60 years. Almost 60 years. There you go. As they beat the Shacks in 6. The Philadelphia Flyers win the Stanley Cup in 2032, led by James Scantlebury. Also, of course, had Matvei Michkov, Ryan Rubruk, Porter Martone, the Farah Beast, Konsta Hellenius, Drysdale on defense, and Alexei Kolosov in goal. I think Michkov will be good, better or worse than Kaprizov in his rookie year. I mean, probably worse because Kaprizov was older. You know? Like, Kaprizov had way more time. It's the same thing as Panarin, basically. You know? If Artemi Panarin, granted, he wouldn't have been against Connor McDavid in that Calder year, and Connor probably would have won it if he didn't get hurt. But if Artemi Panarin came over at 19, 20 years old instead of 24, he probably doesn't win the Calder. You know? What was the Jets' record? That's a very, very good question. I forgot to look because we did so poorly. The Winnipeg Jets this year were a playoff team. No, they weren't. Even though they had the 13th best record in the league, they weren't a playoff team. Which means they absolutely would have been a playoff team had we taken that offer sheet. Fairly convinced, right? You don't add a 91 overall player and not make the playoffs. Well, then again, in this game, maybe you do. But progress report-wise, what do we got? Wasselin still showing up in a 92. Lindstrom, Zach Morin, still no gold. Park already had a gold. Letourneau also developed Shrug It Off and Crease Crasher. He's closing in on a gold. McQueen still hasn't gotten one. Hubbard's back down to medium elite after one season at a low fringe. I don't recall if all three of our top line were always high elites. Kirsch at a low elite. Silverthorne develops quick draw. I'm going to have to start putting guys with quick draw down the middle. Spreading the wealth at center. Hirsch has gone up 2 points in 3 years. I hate that. I hate that so much. No other crazy development here. In the system, Turakov, face value didn't go up at all, which is atrocious. Onikarovsky did improve, Versteeg, Finley. I am a little bit worried about player development right now. A little bit. Of course, we drafted a crap load of goalies in the last year. I'm a little bit worried compared to where I was 2 years ago when we were in the playoffs. I think our little short-term experiment of trying to develop coaches, I think we need to abandon that. Holy shit, Brent Burns went from a C- to a D. Okay, you know what? We're going to do the nice thing, and we're not going to try to develop these coaches because we're only going to make them worse. So say goodbye to the retired guys because they're all leaving. We have the third best odds for the draft lottery this year. At the top of the lottery is a power forward named Jacques Caron. If we do not get the number 1 overall pick, maybe top 2, because maybe someone will take Glenn Cunningham. Our scouts seem to think he's the best player in the draft. If we don't end up with him, oh, sweet Christ, we got to go all the way down to number 12, Emmerich Hendricks. No, we don't. He's terrible. Oh, boy. Oh, hockey gods. Oh, hockey gods. I stand and sit before you. Sitting, I lied. A humble liar. Saying, please give us the first overall pick. Please. Thank you. High draft class quality, by the way. Draft lottery. The Colorado Avalanche win the lottery and have the first overall pick. Scheiße. Terms of retired players, we say goodbye to Leon Draisaitl, David Pastrnak with 850 goals, Nylander Burakovsky also over 1,000 career points. Offensively, Hampus, Aaron Ekblad, Shea Theodore, Jacob Trouba, elbows up in your salutes to Jacob Trouba. Elbows up, everybody. The Jacob Trouba salute. And in terms of goalies, Andrei Vasilevsky, Linus Ullmark, and the best of the bunch, Peter Mrazek. This game does hate me. I totally agree. Okay. You know, I'm intrigued, actually. Let's take a look at the record book before we get to the draft, because the draft's going to suck for us. What are the franchise records that we have going on? Our all-time points leader is Caden Lindstrom. Assist leader, Caden Lindstrom. Goal scorer is Aiden Silverthorne. Kirsch is still the winningest goaltender, and Ryan Reeves still has the most career penalty minutes on this team. That likely won't change anytime soon. But throughout the NHL, games played, OV finished third all-time, just 10 games back of tying Gordie Howe. Had he played one more season, he would have had it. All-time goalie games, Marc-Andre Fleury finished number 1 on that list. Ovi, Crosby, and Stamkos all passed Gretzky. Pasta finished his career 5th all-time. All-time point leader, Crosby was 2nd, which is insane. Assist leader, Crosby finishes 4th. By the way, it's absurd how many career assists Ray Bourque had as a goddamn defenseman. Fleury finishes 2nd on the all-time wins record. Vasi is 5th. Just retired. 50 goal seasons, OV. Pasternak, Gretzky, and Bossy all tied with 9. McDavid has 8. 100-point seasons, Connor now 2nd, McKinnon 5th. Connor might be able to pass Gretzky. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's get this mid-ass draft over with, shall we? A brutal season for us. No draft lottery luck. The Colorado Avalanche have the number 1 pick, and they take the playmaker. God damn it! I was right! If we finished 2nd, we would have gotten the power forward. He's not even the best player we missed out on. But still. Why does this game hate me? All I try to do is love you. Winnipeg was good. For those that missed it, it would have been the 17th overall pick this year, which, for the record, around that time, we'd have been looking at medium top 6s from the looks of it. So, all right, well, we have the 4th overall pick. Utah takes Corso, and we are going to have to go way off the board here which sucks. Well, let's see. I can't even risk it for anybody because we can't afford to screw up a first overall pick. We have Ezra Corvo, Amrit Henriksen, Hector Wright, Eric Prosser, maybe Brendan Perry. He's a bit of a risk, though. Damian Kreider, Lucas Schultz, Braden Witt, Yuka Pierala, Ethan Beck. I'm going to look through the entirety of the second round and then call a timeout. There might be more second rounders that are better than the first rounders, let's be honest. So, Sergei Yefimov's isn't going to be good enough. Yeah, 3 years out, but that potential's not great. Brent Yip, Ned Carjulo. Right. Fred Griffin. Low top 6, Cole Conan. No. Low top 6 is a brutal potential. Medium 9, Basoskis. Okay. Let's call a timeout. See who the best 2 players are we can aim for here, because there's nobody amazing for us to take. In terms of the goalies, Fred Griffin. No, thank you. Defenseman, Lucas Schultz. Not great. Unconfirmed 3 years out. I don't know if I believe that. Jamal Eager. Unconfirmed 3 years out. Damian Kreider. Reaver will do. Unconfirmed 2 years out for Kreider, but we'll look more towards him. Brent Yip. Okay, Justin Falk Justin Falk comparison. You're not going to be a DFD if you're getting compared to Justin Falk. What about Brendan Perry? 2 years out. And Amrit Henriksen, 3 years out, unconfirmed truck. Fire Cannon, we missed the playoffs again. And lost the lottery. Right wing side, Eric Prosser. Rick Nash comparison's not bad. Ethan Beck. No, it's also 19. Left wing side, Michael Holler. What's the rule again if you draft a non-player type? I can't sign him. Hector Wright, kind of an unknown. What about Duke Exelby? 4 years out. And then centers, Wyatt Surrey. 4 years out for Ned Carjulo. Yarala's 4 years out. Ezra Corvo. Okay. 1 year out. That potential scares me, but it is going to be a good overall for Ezra Corvo. And then Braden Witt. So it looks like we might have a couple of decent players to take towards the second round. But Ezra Corvo has to be the pick here in round 1. Yeah. So we will take the center from the Swift Current Broncos, Ezra Corvo. That's not too bad, I guess. Compared to what it was looking like, 73 overall, medium top 6, with Relentless, it's okay. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. So, you got to take a win where you can get it when you're in the situation that we are. So, the next round will be interesting because all the players that we pinned before are still justifiable here. There's 4 of them. We have Wyatt Surrey, 3 years out. 4 years out for Carjulo. Let's rule out Carjulo. Michael Holler, 3 years out. And then Brent Yip is the scary one. Brent Yip is the scary one. I think we got to take Michael Holler as the sure thing with that potential. From the Straubing Tigers, Michael Holler, 65, medium top 6, 2 decent forwards to kick off this draft. We got pick number 69 this year. Oh, we should have gone with Surrey. Low elite is such a better potential than medium top 6. God damn it. God damn it. That sucks. That's not fun. I don't want to know who else we might have missed out on. I don't even want to know. Round number 3. Let's start looking at hello, confirmed medium elite Stefan Tamernis, who we have to take basically right now. Can you check the DFT? I don't want to. I don't want to know. We already know we missed out on somebody good. So let's take Stefan Tamernis, the Swedish winger. 58 overall grinder, medium elite, not bad. Not bad. Honestly, it hasn't been that bad of a draft for us so far. Hasn't been that bad. Anybody else with a crazy potential? Griffin was a medium elite, but only a 47. The other guy, I mean, Carjulo wasn't that good. The defenseman also wasn't crazy. So, okay. We go to the next round. It has been a solid draft. You could argue we needed more defensive help now, but we can't take Renkowitz. Paul Kaliko, Trent Tuzolino, Vitaly Grabeshkov, Maxime Delorme, Ruben Austin, Rubenesque. Not much else. Not much else. Okay. Well. What do we got then? Any goalies in that mix? No. Defenders. We got 2 out of 4 low elites. And what else do we have? A couple of 1 out of 4 medium elites. I mean, it's all best guess at this stage, so whoever's projected to go next is who we'll go for. Oh boy, are we having to scroll down a long way. It's going to be Tuomas Arenas, but he's 20, so we'll rule him out. Anybody else? What about Kaliko? Paul Kaliko's 20. We'll rule him out too. Trent Tuzolino. Congratulations, Trent. You're the pick. And you are... Okay, this draft is done. That guy's a trash bag. And I can't imagine the rest of the list will be that much better. Up next was the defender out of Denmark, Lorenzo Peckham. Quite mid indeed. Round number 6. At least we started off strong. All I can say. Round 6. Who do we have? 18-year-old Maxime Delorme. 49 overall low elite. That's not terrible. If we can get that overall to develop, which, unfortunately for our low elites, has been a little bit more hit or miss than it normally is. And the final 3 players on the list. We're not going to take this guy who's projected to not be drafted. I mean, all these guys are. It's either Ruben Austin, overage defenseman, or Vitaly Grabeshkov, overage forward. Let's take Ruben Austin for that reason. Low set. Okay, well, that was a solid draft at the start, but for the most part, that was a year to forget. The last 2 years haven't been too great for us, if we're being honest. How to get low elites to develop? Typically, play them in the NHL with good players. That's the best way to kind of cheese it. Oh my God, the contracts. It's time to start saying goodbye to certain players. We're going to qualify Hubbard. What are we going to do here? We know that Ruchin's going to go. Rodrigo Ruchin, 7th rounder in 2030, only a medium backup. We'll let him go. Right. Reese is only a 61 at 22 years old. We're not allowed to trade him and make the most of his potential. So Fabian Reese, 6th round pick in 2030. So long, buddy. You gotta go. Think it's time that we say goodbye to Mathis Rousseau. 2nd round pick in our initial draft, but it's time to let him go. We have to keep Kirsch in case Hubbard gets offer sheeted. That's just the reality of the situation. Go 5 1/4 for 4 years. These guys won't get offer sheeted, and they won't get us anything back in return, even if they do. Kopitz has to go, only being a medium starter. 23 years old. 7th rounder in 2029. Marco Kopitz is out. It makes sense to keep these 5 goalies. We'll qualify Versteeg and sign Dominic Bonk to his ELC and Skewen as well. Looks good. Defensively, good lord. Qualify to Rocher. And I'm not quite sure from there. We got Lahunen as a medium, 7th at 23. He's an ECHLer. 7th rounder in 2027. He's on the way outs. And we got some other guys who at least make the AHL team better. Logan Homer should be in the AHL, though. Then we got DeLorme, but he'd have to play at the NHL level. And I don't know if that's worth the risk to try and get this guy to develop by playing him in the NHL next year. Pretty ridiculous. Let's sign Homer. There'll be 2 for the AHL. 3, 4. At the very least. Do we sign DeLorme and try to play him at the NHL level? I just think that'd be too much of a hit. Got to qualify Sims, Peterson, Duncan, Gallagher. I mean, there's no reason to lose these guys for nothing. They can at least make the AHL better, right? So in theory, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, and the AHL is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So a low elite that we couldn't get to develop was Nikita Kuznetsov. Only made it to a 77. 6th round pick in 2024. We got almost 600 NHL games out of him, but with a career plus minus of minus 348. Let's say goodbye to Kuznetsov. We are also going to say goodbye to Maxim Zhekimovs, 3rd rounder in 2025 with 246 career games. Nick, we missed the playoffs again. Lost the draft lottery again. It's pretty much a repeat of the season before. And then even this guy, Sean McIver, I mean, he's not great. 5th rounder in 2027. 0 NHL games played. And we'll drop him as well. And we should be okay. I don't know if we're going to sign DeLorme or not. Right wing side, we got to keep Bootland or at least qualify him. The rest of them, I don't know yet. Sterner makes sense to keep as a likely okay NHLer. We can do that. Left wing side, we'll keep Hagos as well. Probably an NHLer for us. We'll keep Markstrom as a low elite. He might keep getting better. Holler can play in the AHL, so let's sign him to his ELC. I think this is the year a Canadian team wins the cup. 50-50 chance, am I right? I don't have a rooting interest in the Cup final. Just going to enjoy the hockey, even though my interest in the playoffs has dwindled as they've gone on. Caden Lindstrom, RFA. Zach Morin, RFA. Letourneau has to stay. It is very likely we're going to get a massive offer sheet again. It's just a matter of what we do with it. Ezra Corvo's probably going to be in junior. We have to sign Harvey Ho to his ELC. Okay. Let's move forward today. Skewen signs. Letourneau, we need to offer more money to. Homer, Ho, Bonk, Tamarinis, Sterner, Kirsch, rejected initially.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking
wants
grass.
more money. Shout out to Kotkaniemi for the follow. Hopefully enjoying that fat contract. Why don't you do the 85% trick? Because we have $57.6 million in cap space. That's why. That's why. It's not a huge deal. And more often than not, 85% works better with RFAs than UFAs. That's the primary reason. Because I'm willing to let these RFAs go out into free agency, at least briefly, to see if we get an offer that we like. Letourneau will offer you about $7 million as well. All right, I need those two guys to sign before I can really see what else has to happen here. Okay, Letourneau rejecting a nearly $1 million over asking price offer is insane. So case in point, doesn't work with everyone, especially when morale's on. There's no way the 85% trick would work with Letourneau. There we go. All right, how many forwards do we have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. All expiring. I need at least 4 dudes. Ender, I'm aware of how franchise mode works. Just saying. I'm not perfect. I'll get lazy and miss out on doing something I could do, but also, it's not that big of a deal. We're okay. It's gonna be okay. The hell are we gonna sign here? It is going to be time for Timo Toskala to go. 7th rounder in 2024. Physical as hell, but can't skate. We'll go ahead and drop Jeffrey Shantz. 3rd rounder in 2030. That's rough. And we'll qualify these 3 and sign Hemingway. Keep him around for the year. And yeah, the big question now will be, again, whether or not we see any offer sheets this year. And if they're a little bit better for us than what the Winnipeg offer sheet would have been last year. A bunch of RFAs are signing. None of the gigantic names. A bunch of coaches are gone, but that was by design. Endo, what's up? You're a weirdo. In terms of the coaching staff, we know we're saying goodbye to Yossi. We're saying goodbye to Suter. We're saying goodbye to Kopitar. It's time to let those dudes go and actually maybe develop somewhere else. Tristan Paish. Have a little patience. Because this is going to take for frickin' ever to scroll up to a max offer to give us the best chance. Old Tristan Paish. Rodney DePiper. Edwin Rodney. Give you a big boy contract as well. Can I do Nations United, Czechia, and possibly combine with Slovakia? I will never do Czechia and Slovakia combined. Ever. I won't do it. They're their own goddamn countries. Respect them for what they are, not what they were as Czechoslovakia. I'm not doing fucking former USSR countries. I'm not doing goddamn Yugoslavia. Could I do a Czechia or a Slovakia? I sure could. But I will not do a Czechoslovakia. Even though they're great interior decorators. Let's see. We need an AHL associate, Jason Haynes. This takes 6 years. Never mind. And then this guy's got better teaching. I'm not going to be able to fill up the contract spots. So, how about the British Empire? That would require the British to have good hockey players in a grand scale, you know. In a grand scale. We have 8 scouting spots as well. I had a feeling this would be a big offseason for us. Legasp. Found someone on the Prince George Cougars named Ephraim McNutt. Tremendous. Canada's technically a part of the British Empire. Yeah, but then what other players am I going to get aside from Canadians? You know? Yeah, I can't wait for my drafted player out of the Kingdom of Tonga. You know? Can't wait for that. Tonga United, let's go. Goddamn. Free agents were the big names out there aside from our players. Zach Benson, Jake Sanderson, Zach LaRue, Timo Meyer at 35, Nathan McKinnon at 36. Okay. So, will there be a big offer sheet this year? Last year, we turned down a gigantic offer sheet. It would have been 4 first-round picks for Brady to go to Winnipeg. We elected not to take him. By we, I mean chat, by 1 vote. Coaches, getting scouts. No more flapping about. And there it is. Salt Lake City, who finished worse than we did last year, have offered our captain, Caden Lindstrom, a 7-year deal worth $12.4 million. Fuck. They were worse than us last year. They had the second best lottery rates. They picked 3rd overall. Captain Caden. Oh, man. I don't know if we can give up Caden Lindstrom, man. I don't know if we can. 3 years ago, he won the scoring title. He's over a point per game player in his career on this team. Still a career minus. Remind me in 6 days. So their roster: Keller, Cooley, Hayton. It's still pretty similar. They got Leno in there. Gunther, Hellenius. Offensively, Simashev, Moser. Their defense isn't that great. Dude, they got a pretty bad defense. Goalie's an 87, though. That's an interesting take from them to want to spend more money on forwards. I'm less inclined to want to give up Caden Lindstrom than I was Wasselen. However, I set the tone last off season, and we're going to do it again. It's chat's choice. Do we take the 4 first-round picks from Salt Lake City for Caden Lindstrom, or do we keep our captain? That is the question. $7 years, $12.4 million for our captain. The next 4 first-round picks for SLC. It is a very tough player to give up. I never really vote in these polls. I'm personally voting no. I'm going to vote to keep him. But democracy rules here. We kept Brady Wasselin last year. It is true. Had we taken the deal for Wasselin and taken this deal for Lindstrom, it would have been 3 years of 3 first-rounders. This is very true. It's another close vote. What is the future of our captain, Caden Lindstrom? What is the word? Like I said, I voted to keep him. I think he's too important. We developed that gold ability. He's developed on face-offs, which is a big issue the last time we made the playoffs. Super, super close vote here. What will it be? For Caden Lindstrom. If it's tied, might just have to go to a coin toss. 2-vote difference as it's going down to the wire. And of course, people always try to do the last vote bullshit. After keeping Wasselin last year by 2 votes, Caden Lindstrom stays. We'll be matching that offer from Salt Lake City. Our captain stays. Will there be another offer sheet, though? Rainier Stutzel takes his qualifying offer. Chris Beach. Our second best defenseman, Rafael DeRocher. It's only a first and a third from Vegas. I don't think we'll do it. Yeah, 86 overall at 21 years old. Yeah, we got to keep Rafi DeRocher, so we'll be matching that offer as well. Jody Sawyer takes his qualifying offer. Scott Morrow got traded for 2 seconds. Kalle Hanula's back. 3rd round pick for Ashton Bootland. We're probably going to keep him as well. He's an 84 overall. 3rd liner. I mean, yeah, he's worth more than a 3rd rounder. For 4 first, I'd entertain DeRocher leaving. That I agree with. But yeah, we'll be matching this offer as well for Ashton Bootland. He's worth more than a 3rd rounder. We'll never know what would have happened had we elected to let go of 2/3 of our top line. Would have been an interesting draft pick scenario, but it's like Zach Morin, yeah, he was going to make it to the preseason without him being signed, so we pretty much know that we'll be keeping Zach Morin and Hubbard on this roster for 1 more year. Let's see, for Morin, this was his last year as an RFA, so he'll be getting the big deal next year. It did definitely cut into the cap space, but I'm not too worried about it. Get those guys signed. And how far under the cap floor are we? We are not. We actually don't have to sign anybody. Unsigned players. We're not going to rush Corvo to the NHL. Although, you know, he could be under exempt status. Fuck it. Let's sign Corvo. Let's sign Delorme as well. Haven't made up my mind if I'm going to play these guys, but sign Peckham. And Ricci can stay with Ottawa. So, Let's get everything set up. Get ready to go for a new year. We need to get back into making the playoffs, though, for sure.